Shalom, shalom. Want to start by, of course, giving the honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakadash. That one to the elder apostle, great millstone, rule, and teacher well. As I shalom to you, brothers, as well as a few sisters, might tune in, listen, and learn. And just getting right into it. Lesson title, we're going into pretty much fleeing out of Babylon, mentally, fleeing out of Babylon, coming out of that, that Babylonian state of mind, which when you go into the word Babel, it means confusion, man, so, just coming out of the, that spirit of, cloudiness, not cloudiness, but like this, being, filled with, just being defiled, coming out of that mentality and out of that type of lifestyle as well, as, time progresses and you get more and more built up in this thing. But this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. Right? Be not cut off in her iniquity, because the Lord got a lot of judgments waiting up in store, for them who want to continuously trust in his kingdom. When in all actuality, they should be trusting in the Lord. Trusting this devil and his pseudoscience or whatever he has to offer to, make it seem like, this kingdom is gonna last forever or whatever. Trusting in that rather than trusting in the Lord. It says, flee out in the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, right? And we coming into that time. Everybody has to be paid, for their, token toward, or I say it like this: everybody has to be paid, for their portion of the temple, because the temple, we don't see it physically, in a sense of, sense of it being made by hands, right? Because the scriptures say that in the book of Acts. Matter of fact, I get that. This the book of Acts, chapter 7, and verse 48, in the KJV. It says, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. What house will you build me? Right, and no man, now, there is no man who has built a temple, unto the Lord that was made by hands, of stone, wood, or whatever, now, the temples are being made by spiritual hands, which is these, these fleshly bodies, that we use in order to fish for the Lord, but everybody, going back to the point, everybody will receive, their portion of the temple, their portion of, that temple that now in this time is not made by hands, because we got to remember, before time we did have, physical temples, but when Yahushua came, during the time of the ancient Roman Empire, he came and he even rebuked the temple. He rebuked the men, that were selling doves. This is the book of John, chapter 2, and verse 16. It says, and said unto, I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, verse 14. It says, I started 13. It says, and the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem. You can only imagine the amount of folly that was going on at the time, just like you got still today. I think that was like the last year's Passover or the Passover before. You had, these Sakari guys, having a Passover in the strip club, when really that's a solemn assembly, more of a solemn assembly according to the scriptures, you know. It says, and the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the chargers of money sitting. Um, and when he had made a scourge of a small cords, he drove them all. Like it says, and when he had made, it's like it says, and when he had made a scourge of a small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the chargers' money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence, make not my father's house a house of merchandise. So the Lord did that mightily, taking all of the defiled things out of the temple, but even still, the Lord had to, further cleanse, the temple, and doing so, making the Lord, that foundation, or the founding body of it, because in the ancient times, the temple would be, the body in which, everybody would, go to and, receive blessings, like how you had, still during the time of Yahushua, you even had blessings coming out of the temple. Men were being healed on the porch of the temple, etc. You know, but now, our human bodies being able to, possess this knowledge, was my understanding from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We made those temples in the flesh, all the way up until, we get those new bodies, but it just goes to show, the Lord been, changing little different things about the temple, for hundreds and thousands of centuries, man. I mean, hundreds and thousands of years, man. You know, um, but going back to the this Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6, it says, "Flee ye out of the midst of Babylon," right? Because the Lord is also using you can consider Babylon as being another temple, man. Or being another house. Because that's what a temple is. It's a house in which something dwell. We dealing with a temple in which the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah dwell. That's not a light thing. But right now we in the midst of Babylon. That's a house in itself, man. The house of the wicked. And soon to be, the house of the Lord's sacrifice, man. And doing, you know, like the scriptures say, I have a sacrifice in Basra. You see. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. And that's what we teach. We teach that this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, man. Prepare your souls, man. Get built up in his wisdom and knowledge, man. A warning. Hey, this is going on. This is going on. This is happening right now. You know, uh, because the Lord's vengeance is on his way, man. So he don't want the Lord. Matter of fact, when you go to the book of Ezekiel, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, and verse 20. Let's see, 20. Is it 20? 23. It says, "Have I pleasure at all that the wicked should die, said the Lord Yahweh Shah, and not that he should return from his ways and live." Right. So the Lord don't want, these people for the most part to get caught up in these plays, man, caught up in his vengeance. Because when the Lord let these plays loose, the plays is gonna be loose, man. There's nothing you gonna be able to stop it, right? Like the scripture says, shall a man turn back arrow shot of a strong archer. You can't. Your hands are too small to box with the Lord. When the Lord sent out these plays, whatever He says go, that's what's go. And the only ones that's gonna be protected from that is the ones that had that mark of exemption, like the scripture talk about the tawa. You know, mark those that sign that cry. For the abominations that be done. Right, those who doing that now, man. Not the ones who want to catch up at the last minute just because they know that the Lord's word, or they know that you know, that's what's going on. The Lord looking for those that's sincere, that's actually about it. There's one thing to say something about it, but it's nothing to be about it. Actually be about it. That actually be your lot. You see. But this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 6 again. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." And this is the time, Jake always complained about not having reparations. What the Lord is about to give you reparations, man, but not in a light in which, majority of Jakes believe that reparations should come. The Lord is about to give us better reparations than his devil can give us, man. So it's best to not trust in this devil, but once again, to flee out of the midst, man, of that Babylonian spirit, man. Babylon is not about to last forever, man. We got a kingdom approaching soon, man. You see, we got a kingdom that's right around the corner. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? The Lord has been using Babylon as a sifting, you see, because this is not Yahushua's kingdom, man. This is Hashatan's kingdom, man. The Lord is about to come and take the crowns, but for as of right now, this kingdom is on the earth, man. The scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. The Lord ain't came and took the wicked out of the power seat yet. We still suffering under oppression under these devils. So the Lord, he's still, but at the same time, he's still in power. The Lord is he's not a man. The Lord rules from the Shemayim. He rules from heaven. So he's not a man. And people might say, well, if this and that, well, Jesus, what I mean, it's a lot. I'm just saying, it's a lot of confusion going on. But it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Right, all of these nations has fallen for the philosophies and for his tricks. But at the same time, you got a lot of them that's coming out of that mindset of being for the American way. But for the most part, the Lord has used America, in a great way, man. And causing division in the midst of the nations. Because you got a lot of people that disagree with the Americans' way of life. It says that made all the earth drunken, the nations have drunken and of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And these nations are mad, man. Drunk off of that wine, and one way they're mad because they dislike what these Americans are doing, man. How things are established there, But I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord, let's edify this something quick. The spirit power, Yahweh Shah. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Shah, Bashim Karakadas. That one said, great most of the teacher. Next time I say Shalom, wa Baba.